Today I'm going to explain to you exactly why I am actively choosing not to scale my agency. So in case you are brand new here is the quickest recap you're ever going to hear. Signed my first SMMA client in November 2019 for 1.2k per month. Approximately 45 days after that day, our agency was doing over 10k per month in revenue going into 2020. Fast forward to early 2021, we hit our peak of $54,000 in one single month. Now, $54,000 per month was our peak, and we actively chose to scale down from that mark. It all comes down to one topic, a topic not many people talk about. But you're probably wondering, why? Why would you not try and scale to seven figures? Why would you not try and get to, 80, 90 or 100k per month? And why would you not just scale that vehicle, right? That agency up as far as humanly possible? And I totally see where you're coming from. Before we hit that mark, I had goals of building a seven-figure agency. I wanted to do it. I was like, that would be so cool. It would be great to say I did that. But I truly learned a lot from getting to that 54k per month mark. And it was not what I thought it was going to be. It was not all rosy, trust me. It was highly, highly stressful. So the topic that this all boils down to is what I like to call the sweet spot. Okay, in any business that you run, there is what we call a sweet spot. And this is basically comprised of two factors. Well, actually three factors, okay? Two main factors and one bonus. Factor one, profit, right? How profitable is the company? Factor two is stress, right? How stressful is it to run this company at that run rate? And three is enjoyment and passion. Okay, so when I started my agency, and for the first year to maybe a year and a half, it was really enjoyable, right? I absolutely loved building up the agency. It was really character building. I learned how to build a team. I learned how to do sales. I learned how to do outreach. I learned how to build culture within a company, tons of things. Really enjoyable stuff. But at that 54k per month mark, something happened. My stress levels shot through the roof. Our profit margins started to dip, and because of those two factors, my enjoyment for the business ultimately tanked. And I know this sounds really, really privileged, but I remember waking up, I believe I was in Valencia, and we were on a business retreat, right, with some team members. And I remember waking up genuinely thinking, I don't want to do this. I don't want to wake up and do sales calls for pretty much most of the day just to scale the revenue of the business because our profit margins are going down. We're hiring way too many team members to keep up with this demand. And my enjoyment is just not there anymore. And I think this is something that everybody should consider, okay? Just because someone else scaled their agency to seven figures, it doesn't mean that you should as well. And this is what I learned, okay? The reason I wanted to scale to seven figures was really because other people did it and I wanted what they had. But I also wanted to brag, I wanted to be able to say, hey, I got to seven figures. But I didn't consider, would I actually enjoy the process? Okay, I would enjoy the outcome of saying, yes, I got to seven figures. But I realized at that point that I would actually hate myself and my life on that journey to seven figures. Now, this was not purely an emotional decision, okay, right? Obviously, passion and enjoyment, it's very emotional, right? But the big logical reason was the fact that our profit margins were dipping and they would continue to dip. And that is just normal, right? As you scale a business past the multi-six-figure mark, your profit margins will go down. Because as you become more detached from the business, you have to hire more people to replace you and what you have been doing. So hiring salespeople, that cuts into your margin. Delegating all of your clients to client managers or account managers, again, all of that takes a lot of money. So although we still had a good profit margin, I just knew that if this is what things look like now, at roughly 5 to 600k per year, well, for us to get to $1 million a year, it's just gonna keep going down, right? And that was something I didn't want, and that was it, right? I had to be really honest with myself, and I had to take my ego out of the equation. So I had to say to myself, Adam, are you okay with the fact that you might not get to seven figures a year with your agency? You will get to seven figures, right? Because you've been running the company for a while and it will continue to make money. And are you okay with that? And ultimately I decided, yeah, you know what? I am totally okay with that. I'm totally fine. And I have seen some crazy benefits from this, okay? We can now operate our business on a smaller scale. So we do a lot less revenue per month, but we still have really, really good profit margins. Our margins are better than they were before. So the profit that, we would take home is actually very, very similar. We have way less team members, and all of the team members we have right now have been on our team for over a year. Okay, so that means we haven't had to hire anybody new in over 1 year. That means that there's really not much I have to do. I've got a salesperson, we've got VAs that do outreach, we've got client managers that manage our clients, we've got designers, editors, you name it. And all those people have been trained up for, many months. Those people have been trained up now over 1 year, right? That was the last time that we hired someone. So it's really not stressful. And I genuinely now spend 20 minutes a day on my agency. That's not a lot of time. And I could spend 10 minutes, literally just responding to a couple messages from team members if I really wanted to. So guys, I just wanted to make this video to just kind of, share this with you guys, because some of you know this. If you're in my coaching program, I've talked about this a bunch. I've talked about this a little bit on my Instagram, where I talk about a lot of topics that you just won't see here on YouTube. But it's also opened up so many opportunities for me. It's allowed me to pour so much of my focus into the 6-figure accelerator program, which it's just been phenomenal since day one. I've absolutely loved building this company, and it's also given me new ideas, right? So I may potentially start a new agency very, very soon. And if I do, I will most likely document that entire process here on YouTube for you guys. So hope you enjoyed this video, and do think about this for yourself. Don't just try and push for a goal because someone else is pushing for that goal. All right, everybody wants to get to 10K a month, but if you know that you would rather get to, let's say, 5 or 6K a month with better profit margins and just less stress and more time to, let's say, travel, spend time with your family, do that. Don't feel pressurized to follow along and do what everybody else did. You don't have to get to 50K a month. And I know I don't have to get to 7 figures if I don't want to. So if you want to be along this journey to see if I do start a new agency, make sure you are following me on Instagram. I share so much on there that just never makes it here to YouTube. And as always, if you do have any questions, do message me on Instagram. I do check in there once a day to respond to messages, and I actually recently had someone tell me that they had reached out to 5 other people in the marketing agency space, and I was the only one that responded to them in over 2 weeks. So I do genuinely check that every single day. All right, have a good rest of your day. Appreciate you sticking around till the end of the video.